Are you guys tired of running through the skull layers, like from the top to the bottom over and over and over again? And would you like to just kind of like, skip through that whole process and appear down to the lower layers? Well, stick around to find out. And if you want to thank anybody, thank Ninjaquinstein for the idea. Left a comment and told me how to do it, so much appreciated. For those who wanted a spoiler for it, all we're making is some lava fizz potions. If you want to know how to make that whole process and how to automate the whole thing too, you can stick around. First off, we're going to have access to the nether. We're also going to need Silk Touch. You get Silk Touch by having a lectern, go to the villager guy, and for 8,000 gold, you can just buy Silk Touch. And you'll need an anvil, obviously, to put it on there. The reason why we want this is we're going to need to get some Crimson Nylum. And you don't really need many, you could just get one. And if you have bone meal, you can then just put it right next to it like a netherrack and then just right click it. Bam, you just made yourself some more Crimson Nylum. If you look up Crimson Grapes, there's a few ways you can get them. A lot of them's through loot and just chests. But I think the easiest way would just be going down into the third layer of the Skull Cavern. And you have a 6.25% chance of getting either the Crimson or the Warped. Granted, we want the Crimson. And fun fact, I didn't know this, but the Ancient Fruit Seed also from the Grimwood supply. But again, that is at level 3 of the Skull Cavern. But once you get your seeds and you have your Crimson Nylum, you can go ahead and just increase that and then just plant them down. And then you just have to wait. They grow in springtime and autumn time, so it's probably best to have some greenhouse glass over it. And once you get to 3, you can go ahead and make yourself a seed maker and then just put it in there. In a day, it will give you, more seeds, essentially, and then you can expand this. And the active way of getting ancient fruit seeds was also the Grimwood boxes down to the 3rd layer. But if you don't have that way and you want to do the passive way, which I got severely unlucky in, is you're going to need to go ahead and buy yourself a plum tree. Costs 27,648. Buy at least 2. That way, whenever you're ready, 2 trees will give you exactly 16, which will then let you buy a thing from the fletching table. You just scroll down. Right here, the ancient cog. What this thing does is you have a 5% chance of producing an ancient fruit seed while putting in, things. So you just go ahead and take your grapes or, like whatever fruit. And then after a day, and then in a day, you have 5% chance from each of the machines to get you that ancient fruit seed. I wish you luck. I got very unlucky for a very long time with it. So maybe doing the Grimwood thing wouldn't be the worst idea. Alrighty, well, next up, we were going to want to automate our grape squishing. So we're going to make this contraption right here. We're going to need a grapevine pot. This is where the grapes are going to go into, and this is how we're going to squish it. We're going to use slimy slimes or any slimes, and we'll just throw them inside a glass container like so, and then them just jumping around squishes it. Because if you didn't know how it works, is we're going to have this deployer place in the grapes like so, right? You can have up to 6. And then the slimes are going to be the ones jumping. The other deployer will be using a wine bottle, and it's the one that's right-clicking it and collecting the thing, and we got 2 juices from it. So for starters, just place down your grapevine pot, grab yourself 2 deployers, and just hold crouch, and then click into one side, click into the other, and then use whatever blocks you want. I'm just going to do glass, and we're just going to go up on all the sides, just so, the slimes won't be able to go in. Go ahead and find yourself, a group of slimy slimes or any kind of the slimes, and make sure you feed them the one time so they won't despawn anymore. And then just suck them up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the hole ourselves and just kind of look down and just shoot. And just do that with every single one of them. And then just grapple yourself out of there if you have a grapple or whatnot. And then if you want, you can just cover up so they can't escape whatsoever. And the idea is them jumping around is just going to mimic you. And you can do it with a rabbit. But the problem is with the rabbit, when I did before, is you may have noticed there is a small lip, right? Like we can go in it, but like we can jump out. And the rabbit does that, like, and it will stay on this edge and won't jump anymore. But with the slimes, they're constantly jumping, so we can just stick in a few slimes in there, and that, fixes the whole problem. It just depends on how pretty you want it. Frankly, I don't really care. You'll just go ahead and just put your water wheel however you want. You can either do it like this way, put 2 waters like so, and then it would work, right? Or you could just do it like this, place your water down, And then if you want, just block off those waterways so that it can't go anywhere. And then just, fix it all up. Something like that. Up to you. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start doing our cog thing. Now, remember, we can't have it too fast. We're going to need it a little bit slower because we're hooking up to the two machines. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can set this to be its own personal thing, right? Like over here, I have it on the same power line split into two, like so. But frankly, this thing has to do 6 actions, right? It's placing 6 grapes in there. This one only needs to collect the one time. So if you have the water wheel to spare, what you can do is grab yourself your wrench, look on the back, right click, and you can see the arrows went up and down like that. So you can just place your water wheel right underneath it, place the water, and it's just going to work. So that is a option. Now we're going to do this for the power. We're going to put big cog, put in little cog, and then big cog on that. And then if you want to be pretty, because someone did tell me how to do it, is you can use an andesite casing, place it on that, and what it does is it kind of locks the system out, right? So then we can put a little gear on there. If we don't put that box on it, what's going to end up happening is it just keeps breaking, right? The little wheel just keeps breaking. So you'll need to put that casing thing on it, put the cog wheel on it, then large, then once again, put casing on the other big one, then the other small cog, then the big guy, another one, and bam, right? We're on super speed. And then depending on how fast your thing is, you can use shafts all the way to it. And then just use a gearbox. Oh, it looks like mine was too fast. So I have to end it with this one down here. There you go. So you'll want, big cog, little cog, goes into big cog, little cog, goes into big cog, little cog. So you need 3 of each. And however, again, wherever you build it, just bring it into that one. And now this one's on top speed of 256, as you can see. As you can see. And this is basically the structure that you're going to want to do. Now we're just going to hook up ourselves our refined storage stuff to it. Now for the deployer that moves faster, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go into and make an exporter and place in crimson grapes. If you want to, you can look on this side and make it into a filter so it knows what to take. But that's what the exporter is for. It will only deposit that in there. And now you can see it turned into a hand. And then you can kind of see the grapes are going in there slowly. And the other one, we need 2 of them. We're going to have an exporter that's putting in wine bottles. So then this hand is always holding a wine bottle, getting ready for, to collect the wine. And then in the importer, we have it to whitelist mode, that crimson grape juice. Now, if you didn't know, you can go to your JEI and just drag things into your exporters and importers like so, if you don't have the item, and then you can just left click and it removes it. And that way you can just deposit all your stuff in there, like for instance, your grapes of any kind, and it will just automatically do it for you. Now that we have the grape juice whatnot automated, we're going to need to make a fermentation barrel. This is how you make it. But this one does take quite a bit of exporters and an importer. On the left side, you'll want to input your ghost peppers and your wine bottles. So then it will fill in here and it will fill in the ghost peppers, right? On the top side, you're going to want that crimson grape juice and it'll fill on this side. And whenever it's ready, it will top it up. And then on this other side, you'll just set it to importer and nothing needs to be in there. It's just going to automatically grab the wine whenever it's ready. And then you can see we already have 24 of them made. Obviously, you could increase how many, fermentation barrels we have and you'll make them faster. And that's pretty much it right there. Now we can have the lava fizz potions whenever we want. And how it works is quite simply, we just go into the skull cavern. Now, the first time it doesn't work because if you do read it, it's called Grave Digger. Now, the Grave Digger effect, what it does is when you drink it, it teleports you to your last known death. Now, some of the class who's ahead of us probably gets the picture here. But basically, we're going to go in the skull cavern and just instead of, going for the ropes, we can just go all the way down, right? The normal way. Don't do what I'm doing right now because it won't work. But basically, you're just going to go down and say, oh, like we got to the ice layer, but like it's already, almost time to go. Well, 2 things. If you have armor, you want to take it off. Same thing with your hotbar. You want nothing on there because when you die, everything takes durability. So walk around with a lava bucket is probably the easiest one of doing it because then you can just place it down, burn a little bit, pick up the lava bucket, then you just respawn. And now we're here. Yes, we get some death, but frankly, if you're at this point of the game, you probably are rich enough to not care. And say it's a new day. You're like, ah, man, I really want to go back to the Skull Cavern. Well, you just drink your lava fizz. And the lava left over from before, but you can collect your XP. And the beauty of it is we don't need to die anymore. Because the game remembers this is our last known death spot. Right? And so what we can do is once we teleport, once we're done with here, you just use your magic mirror. Here you go. This is how you make it. 8 prismatic shards and a silver mirror in the middle. It teleports you home from this block distance. And like say we want to go back down, right? We just drink it once again. And we're back down. So say you finally got yourself to the 3rd layer and it's almost time to go, right? Well, you do the same thing. You just go ahead and place that lava bucket down. Go ahead and take some damage. And clearly I meant to do that in survival. But we can go back and just drink it once again. And we're back down here. That's how simple it is. Now, if you don't have the magic mirror and you don't have the stuff to make it, if you do have those ancient fruits unlocked, that's what I was talking about earlier, is you can go ahead and automate the system of making the potion recall. You'll need one of those fruits, you need an awkward potion, and a blaze powder. Now, I did it this way just because you can stick a hopper on top. In here, place the ancient fruits, say you only want 64 potions, right? Place 64 in there, or, say you want 2 stacks or something. Instead of that part being hooked up to our system and using all our ancient fruits, this way it closes it off. So you don't even need the barrel, honestly. You could just use a hopper and that's it. And it'll hold, 5 stacks for you. But basically on this side, the importer, we have it whitelisted mode, taking only the potion of recall. The exporter back here has the awkward potion, the blaze powder. And again, the ancient fruit does not need to be in there, but that was the idea if you wanted it to, except it had to be on top, not on the side. And to make the awkward potions, do the same thing. This side has the blaze powder and water bottles. The top has the nether warts. And this side has whitelisted mode with awkward potions. Remember, nether warts have to grow on soul sands, but they grow on any, weather. It's year round. And then you'd want to automate the process of water bottles just because it's going to be a pain in the butt to do. But how it works is you'll want a depot. You'll want an exporter placing in glass bottles. And the importer on whitelist mode taking out water bottles. Now I'll just go ahead and get some glass bottles. Remember, you can buy them from the farmer guy for 8 bottles for 4 gold. Very cheap. And so you just put it into your system like so. I think I have a visual glitch because the water's going down, but nothing's appearing. But I mean, there you go. You can see it though. Glass is changing into water. But that is the video, guys. Don't forget to thank Ninjaquinstein for this, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless, good night, and goodbye.